When you go to heaven, what you hear is the sound of praise. When you go to hell, what you hear is the sound of cries. Anytime you continue to give room to tears, you have created an atmosphere for Satan to manifest. When God manifests, he does wonders. When Satan manifests, he does wickedness. Is somebody getting what God is saying? So, who will you create an environment for? All over the world today, you find many under the siege of depression. Today we talk so much about mental health. These are all products of the spirit of heaviness. I read the statistics recently that said 26% of those that were surveyed some time ago were said to be diagnosed with one kind of mental health issue or the other, and many of them is depression. You find individuals today ending their lives over issues that seem so light and inconsequential. Why? The spirit of heaviness giving room in such lives. The Bible makes clear to us that there is no temptation that has taken you but such as is common to man. There is no challenge you are facing that no one else has faced. Is somebody getting what God is saying? Stop specializing your challenges, commonize them. The Bible makes it very clear, there is no temptation. It doesn't matter what you are confronted with. Somebody has overcome it before. So stop specializing your challenges, commonize them. Commonize them. Commonize them. And in case you are not aware, wherever you are today is still somebody else's prayer point. So instead of being a complainer, instead of getting down on life, begin to celebrate and rejoice in the faithfulness of God that has brought you to where you are. Somebody said to me, "Oh, Pastor, I have not yet married. I can't believe. I'm so concerned." And I said, well, there is something to thank God for. Thank God that you have not yet mismarried. You see, what most people complain about is a thanksgiving point. If you can think well, you will thank well. Most depressions are the product of misthinking. Right thinking will always give birth to rejoicing. It is wrong thinking that gives birth to depression. If you can think well, you will thank well. If you can think well, you will thank well. That's why David said, "Why are you cast down, O my soul?" He said, "Hope thou in the Lord." Why are you cast down? There is no reason to be down. There is no reason to be under. There's no reason to be depressed. Where depression is, oppression will be there. Because depression is an open door to the oppressor. Where depression is, oppression will be there. Because depression is an open door to the oppressor. Now listen to this very carefully. We know from scriptures in the book of Exodus chapter 15 and verse 11. It says, "Who is like unto thee, O Lord? Who is like unto thee, glorious in holiness, fearful in praises, doing wonders." So we know that the environment of praise, of thanksgiving, of celebration is the environment of divine manifestation. Now hear this. The environment of complaining, the environment of depression, the environment of wrong consideration is the environment of satanic manifestation. Listen carefully. When you go to heaven, what you hear is the sound of praise. When you go to hell, what you hear is the sound of cries. Anytime you continue to give room to tears, you have created an atmosphere for Satan to manifest. When God manifests, he does wonders. When Satan manifests, he does wickedness. Is somebody getting what God is saying? So, who will you create an environment for? That means there is no room for depression. Every time Satan whispers into your ear something that should break your heart, begin to rejoice. What are you doing? You are creating a divine atmosphere for God to step in. The Bible says, "A merry heart doeth good like medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones." It's so important for us to understand that. So our rejoicing must remain permanent in order to give no room to the oppressor. If you observe very carefully, you discover that particularly when you get to hospitals, very serious hospitals, and they have different categories of wards. You have, for example, the general ward. Some places you have what you will call like a terminal disease ward. Some places have a specific word for a particular disease. So they tell you this one is the cancer ward. You will discover that the more you go from one ward to the other, the worse the case, the worse the countenance. You get into some wards, the place is very somber. It is as if they have begun mourning. Because Satan realizes that if he can take your joy, he can take your health. If he can steal your joy, he can steal your health. That is why there must be no room given to depression, because it is the open door for oppression. I pray again for each one of us this morning that by the encounter of today, none of us will be a victim of depression again.